Welcome to the Call to Cinema. I am Aaron, and it's been a busy day, a hot day, and a hectic day. And we are going to talk about a few things here. Um, we're going to look at Cauldron Films new releases. We are going to look at the seeing how the partner labels month is going with Vinegar Syndrome. We are going to take a critical analysis for the first time, which was originally going to be a pre-tape video, but I'm going to try it out here and see how it goes. We'll go from there. Hey there, Chris. Welcome, man. Thank you. It's my Bruce Campbell-esque shirt, is what I would like to call it. And we'll look at Severin's releases that are out right now and a few others as well. So that's going to be the big thing. Hey there, Andreas. Hey, William. Hey, Alan. Hey, Griff. Everybody just came in at once, which is amazing. I guess I got to do that whole like YouTube thing, get that out of the way so we can get started. This is a Call to Cinema. If you're new here, or if you're not, hit like, share, subscribe, do all that jazz and all that type of stuff. I do have a Patreon. If you're so inclined to going towards that, we're going to be doing a month of Severin. So same as last month, we did the month of Vinegar Syndrome. We had the live videos every Friday. Expect a live Severin video every Friday for the month of June, right up to the sale. We are also doing the Cult of Giallo over there as well. So we're going to be doing some Giallo stuff really, really soon. There is a merch store if you're so inclined. And as you can see, strolling down below, there is a donation-y thing, which I will have to say is 100% helpful. And I'm trying to... right now, I'm trying to kind of hopefully get one or two of the partner labels, and right now, I don't have enough. So there we go. One person left when I said the donation button. People tend to do that. That's how you find out people that actually want to watch the channel and people that don't. Hey there, Eddie. Hey, George. Hey there, David. Hey there, Jason. So let's get right into it. Let's dive into all this newsy type stuff. And where do you want to go first? We can look at the Vinegar Syndrome partner labels. We can look at, hey there, Antoine. We can look what's coming out from Severin. We can actually talk about the Cauldron film release announcement. We can talk about a lot of stuff. Eventually, though, I am going to do something that I haven't done before, something different. I'm going to look things in the way that I look at them in real life. I'm going to analyze. And the first thing that's going under the scalpel for the critical analysis is going to be, and I made a 45-minute video, which I didn't put out, by the way, on this. And it's going to be looking at the Vinegar Syndrome Halfway to Black Friday subscription. Positives, negatives, how I feel after getting it, how I feel after all the hype is down. So Vincent, we'll go with that first, because I do think that it's important to look at the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. But what I'm doing right now, so just so you know, is I am setting up some things right here on the channel, because when I do the critical analysis, I want to be able to look at this and say, you know what? Here's a good way to do the research, which is always fun. And who doesn't love the good, fun stuff? Perfect. All right. So I apologize if I missed any messages there. But don't worry, we'll get the Cauldron. Hey there, Ice. Welcome, man. First, let's go over to Vinegar Syndrome's website and let's see how their partnership labels are doing. I'm kind of excited, actually. This is their first month. Hey there, Amy. This is their first month doing this. This is the first time I've had a subscription, and we'll get into how it's not as good for me as I thought it was going to be. But that's the thing. But first this. Hey there, Mr. Tony the Dead. Mr. Tony the Dead was the first person I've seen so far online do the Vinegar Syndrome unboxing. Because of unfortunate things that happened, he had to do it in 2 parts. But I honestly say Go watch both the parts. You got joined at the end by Master Chaos. I was up till 5:30 in the morning watching his video last night. I almost was on it, actually. I was just too lazy to go upstairs and do my setup. But as you guys can see, I'm not in my regular setup, and that's because recently we had a Mr. Bruno passed away, and because of that, some things got shifted around in the house. And for the next little while, I want to keep kind of a fluidity and kind of a common place for the for the cats to just like chill and relax. So I'm gonna be doing some stuff from up here. Yeah, Tony's a great guy, man. Hey there, Richard. Hey there, Griff, man. I'm glad you subscribed to him. Let's look. So let's look at hey there, Kubrick. So let's look at the partner labels releases. I am going to do the thing that I always do right now. So when I'm doing this here, I can't see, like as most people know, as everybody knows, I can't always see your comments. So what I do is I go in, I make sure it's turned down, and I put your comments here on my iPad so that I can see them and just like dive into them in the background. Right there on top of my laser displayer. Because, yeah, I'm a Laserdisc guy too. All right. So we will go through these 2 pages of all the new stuff here, or at least right away. And what I think is a kind of a cool thing to see at the very... Hey there, Dustin. Welcome, man. Is they got some of the shelf dividers. They're $25 American, which is 30 Canadian. So it doesn't switch over till you go here. Now, there's only 43 of these left for Vinegar Syndrome. There is AGFA's out of stock. Fun City Editions only has 6 left. Oh, wow. And Utopia is out of stock. Wow. So 2 of them have already gone out of stock. Each of these are around $25, 30 Canadian. I would have loved to have had some of these, especially Vinegar Syndrome, really, and probably I got a few AGFA. I don't have any Utopia yet. Eventually, I would like to have these here in my collection. Hey there, Matthew. Welcome, man. I did not see Mr. Wise there. We're discussing a little bit of everything, Wheels, but we're going into Vinegar Syndrome's partner labels right now. And there's like a smaller, kind of a standard divider. Kind of looks like what you mix paint with, really, when you think about it. So there's, for Vinegar Syndrome, there's 158 left. Agfa's got 153. Fun City Editions is 158. And Utopia is at 66. Utopia is popular right now. Because they got some cool stuff coming out. So speaking of which, let's look at Utopia's recent release. So it is Shiva, baby. This is a new release. And when I say it's a new release, this is actually a newer film. For those that maybe around my age and Canadian, this picture here and the girl looks a lot like this girl that used to be on Degrassi, like the original Degrassi Junior High. So much like this actress that was in Degrassi Junior High. And I think her character she was like kind of this, in the show, she's kind of a snobby character. Like she tried to win the class like presidency by offering up kisses. Just, simple, like innocent stuff. But Shiva Baby, Alex, right, man. Shiva Baby looks like a really cool release. Hey there, I said, welcome, man. We're looking at the Vinegar Syndrome partner label month right now. So it's over 1,000. This is a really neat one. I know a lot of people aren't big on it because it is a 2020 release, but I do dig this type of film. I do think Kubrick, this might be one that you'd want to look into because I got a feeling it's going to be your type of jam, man. This is one I know that you're going to be into for sure. Hey, there's Sen Arcadia. You get cool points for loving Degrassi, man. So what's neat about this is we get an audio commentary, Q&A with the actress, director, it's a moderator on here, a red band trailer, double-sided poster. That's kind of cool. So you don't get a lot of the newer titles. When you think double-sided poster, you think of the older titles, and like it's an Arrow release or it's a VSA release. So Utopia, like putting a double-sided poster in Shiva Baby. And I'll be honest, this is one I really do want. I really like the look of this one. So that's it. I should have put a tip jar up there. You guys could have helped me get the partner release this. All right, next up is Treasure of the Ninja in the films of William Lee. It's an AGFA release. This is a cool one. Like basically, William Lee is this regional like filmmaker. Basically, I guess I get Master Chaos said the way, and I put it with two. Is kind of backyard films. So always good to look at that stuff. So he makes these like kind of kung fu, these martial arts films with his families and stuff, like family and friends and all that. So these were done in the 80s. They're all shot on Super 8, and you gotta love that. So, and it's not just one film. This is AGFA. You never just get one thing with AGFA. You never just get there's never just a film. AGFA doesn't give you like, oh look, here's a bare bones release. That's not their jam. They don't do it that way, man. So right away you're going to get the Treasure of the Ninja with a brand new transfer from the original 3/4 master tape, commentary track to the director and Bleeding Skulls, Annie Cho and Joseph A. Zimba. You're going to get a bonus movie as well, 1984's Dragon versus Ninja, previously unreleased and transferred in 2K from original Super 8 elements. I get often asked on here. Yes, it is Steph I was referring to. Thank you. I forgot the name, man. I did not see that tweet, man, Matt, but I actually like it. Steph, she's the one that went on to do, what was it called? Learning the Ropes. Yeah, that was it. She left Degrassi to do Learning the Ropes with Lyle Elzado. I'm really geeky, guys. It was a TV series about a teacher that moonlit as a professional wrestler. Nobody knew because he wore a mask, even though it was the size of Lyle Elzado. Oh, definitely BFI. That's a good comparison, actually, guys. Because aside from this bonus movie, you're going to get like again shorts, a new Chinese connection, a short film that he made in 1980. He did a series called Willie Jack, a series of short films. So those are going to be on here as well. I'm not quite sure how many there are though. But either way, you got a movie, you got some bonus shorts on here, you got a commentary. They remastering Super 8 stuff, man. I often get asked on here, why is 4K a thing? Why is 4K needed? Like, is it a thing? Even if like 4K, for instance, is not a format that you buy, for instance. Does every film like need 4K? Yes, for restoration purposes. Whether everything's put out initially or not, but for restoration purposes, yes, restore every film that you possibly can in 4K, so that we've got a great version of the film. Always remember too, when thinking about 4K, don't think that the movie's going to look better or shinier. Just think that 4K is meant to make it look more like it did in the theater. It's not meant to spruce it up and make it look shiny. I watched Learning the Ropes quite a bit. I had a crush on Steph. We were around the same age at the time. Okay, here's one I'm worried I'm going to miss out on, and it's the colors got to be done right, Griff. And sometimes the colors just aren't done right on the Blu-ray, and that's the thing. And other times, like with any format, they mess it up. You can mess it up. Color grade is important. It's hard, and especially if you want to make it look closer to the way it's done in the theater. Then often, like the theater colors are definitely they're even if the brighter, shinier films are going to be often be darker, more muted. And as you make your living room into a home theater, you're going to notice that some 4Ks seem a little bit darker. It's not because that's because that's where the film's actually look in the theater. Halloween's the best example of that. Exactly. If they can restore them, like you restore them in 8K and like just put them on 4K disc, that's fantastic. 8K for me, man, that's going to be for streaming. Like I never expect to see like an 8K like physical disc. If it happens, I'd be really surprised. Here we got Mail Order Murder, the story of Wave Productions. Okay, this is what I want the most. And I guess I don't have the bones right now for this title. and I am so nervous I'm going to miss out on this one. It is the first one coming out from Saturn's co-releasing for Vinegar Syndrome. It's a brand new partner label. It's a documentary, but not just a documentary. It's a bonus film as on here as well. So that is going to be cool. Bonus film, I think, is Wave of Terror. They don't say, but that's what So you're getting a 97-minute documentary. You're going to get a music video. You're going to get a bonus movie, interviews, commentary, trailers, reversible cover artwork. Like, totally my jam. You are lucky, man. I wish somebody would send me a copy of this movie. One more look. Just let's take in the great teasings. Tina Krause is being interviewed in this as well. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna probably miss this one, guys. that's gonna bum me out. So Long, Billy, Pompeii. It's another Altered Innocence release. Initially, I think a lot of people thought that Altered Innocence was going to be LGBTQ plus films, and some of them are. But Altered Innocence, it's called Altered Innocence for reasons. They're also coming of age films as well. So sometimes they'll have an LGBT slant to it. Other times it might just be like a I wouldn't say standard, but it'll be a coming of age type of film. Give you a lot of help to direct. That is awesome, man. That is really cool. So Long, Billy. I watched the trailer of this one. I actually liked the trailer of this one a lot. This is the one that I'm thinking of. It's a French coming of age film. It's not for everybody, but I really dug it. The girl from Ra's in this. And if you've seen the horror film Ra, then you know who I'm talking about. All right, so here we go. It is again, it's the Lonely Hearts Killers. So there's been an Arrow release of the original film. There's been a Criterion release of the original film. This is a modern, updated look at the Lonely Hearts Killers. And I think we're looking at, is it Belgian? Did I get that right? I said that the other day and I wasn't quite sure if I was right or not. Yeah, it's Belgian. So it's a Belgian film. It's was done not that long, a few years back, right? 2015. Okay, this is one that I'm going to say this right now, and looks really great, but the notification right up here kind of pisses me off just a little bit, just a smidge. So here we go. A dramatic reading. A note to subscribers. This is a catalog title from Music Box Films that was originally released in 2015. As such, we will not be issuing a 50% discount code. We are treating this catalog slipcover release, even though it's a brand new slipcover release, exactly the same as a Vinegar Syndrome catalog slip. So that's the thing that they're doing. Is it a good decision? I don't know. If it's a decision that was made with Music Box Selects and that was something that they had to go with, yeah, okay. I kind of get it. Maybe that's maybe that was penned in the partner label release, and it's selling okay, so really good there. However, if it's not, and this is a release that could have done the 50% off, they could have done a percentage off and actually maybe promoted it a bit more, especially where it's a new release to a lot of people. But yeah, they say it's tough with partnership labels having them. Yeah, so again, not their fault. So I can't rag on it too much. But I gotta be I have to be, and I gotta be honest when it comes to this type of stuff. I want to get my honest opinions, like whether I like something, if I don't like something. Like I talk about, I joke about the Cardona box set that's coming up for Vinegar Syndrome, and part of the joking aspect of that is I don't like Rene Cardona Jr.'s like work pretty much. Most of what I've seen I just really haven't liked. And I know that I bought like the 50% off the halfway subscription, and I'm getting 3 box sets of Rene Cardona Jr. So I'm hoping that the features on the Rene Cardona Jr. sets are good, so that maybe they'll win me over to some of his stuff. But I don't know. I really, really don't. Got off a really triple feature. I don't remember those 3. I'd have to watch them again. I kind of 50% off heavy trip, but not that one. It seems weird. I mean, it is unusual. Maybe it's because it was done earlier. Maybe there's different rights issues, or maybe they just don't want to maybe they just want to give 50% off that one. What is sketchier though? It's when when you're a year subscriber and you're going to get 50% off. There's going to be 3 Cardona boxes. I would at least, Iceman. I don't expect it to go over 3. I think that they want to go over 3. I know we got Cardona fans in there, so please don't get upset with me. Everybody likes their own thing. I got lots of movies that people hate, but I don't know if they're going to be as popular as they initially thought they were going to be. So we'll see. I know it has a groundbreaking like box design, but for me right now, that groundbreaking box design is, hey, this magnet attaches this box to this other box, which attaches to this other box. I'm sorry, that's not groundbreaking. it's boxes with magnets. That's what it is. I think what kills me is I'm a bigger fan of like the horror, and that's just me, right? And I can't complain because 15 out of the 20 titles that are coming out, and we'll get to that later on. We get to critical analysis, are going to be horror titles in this year. I'm worried about Beaks, Matt. Like, it's okay, like, but to me, Beaks, Matt, is kind of like Birdemic. It's except the difference is no animals get hurt in Birdemic. All right, Creststone soundtrack LP out of stock. Don't worry about that one, I guess. Adoration. This one looked really good as well. This one, it's a bit of a thriller. If I read it right, you got your Vinegar Syndrome ship notice. Nice, man. You'll get yours before me, Warlock, because even though I got my shipment notice a couple days back, it takes longer to get, and even though I'm not going through custom, it's still going from province to province, and they do tend to slow down in between provinces. I find lately, because right now I'm just going to bring up my phone here and check on my Canada Post. It says delivered by June 15th, and some people were like saying, "I can't believe June 15th." Well, yeah, that most people have never seen my when I get Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I'm usually literally one of the last people to get my stuff come. So getting my stuff come at June 15th is utterly like a fantastic, like wonderful thing. Yeah, we live in Ontario, man. So you're literally right next to where they're at. You should get yours in a couple days. Adoration. There's a creepiness to this one that I kind of love. I love these kind of creepy. Hey there, Mike. This is the big one for us. I wanted to get this one for my better half, but I think this one's going to be able to print at least the limited edition, which is a shame because I know she really wants this. This is Martha, A Picture Story, a documentary by Selena Miles. And for those that are unaware, it is Martha Cooper, and she was a famous photographer. She is a famous photographer, and basically when graffiti was kind of becoming a thing, she was there, like capturing the whole like the genesis of like and graffiti, not as just, oh look, when people are looking at graffiti and saying, what a horrible thing, it's ruined our neighborhoods. She saw the art in, in kids telling stories with a paint can, basically, and she brought it to this next level, and she became an amazing, amazing, amazing artist, amazing like photographer. So this one here comes with, uh, I think, a postcard of some of her art, of some of her of one of her photos. So which it's killing me that I'm going to miss out on this one. Yeah, New York street scene. Yeah, also part of early hip hop. She was like really, she was on the ground, like in the there in the initial in the early stages of it. She documented early hip hop. She documented like the New York street scene, the life there, the graffiti, just the way things were going. And it's fantastic. Best partner label in my opinion. Fun City Editions, but I'm really like Altered Innocence and Utopia are big for me too. Um, Fun City Editions has spoke to me so far, but I haven't got any Altered Innocence or Utopia yet. But I'm finding their releases are starting to speak to me a lot, and that's me. Hopefully, Eddie, you'll get yours there by tomorrow. The Leather Boys and Agfa Shout Factory. This is different. So a collaboration between Agfa and Shout Factory. Not something you're rarely going to see any the word Shout Factory come on any Vinegar Syndrome release. So yeah, there's a different one for you. And this is a British film. I think it's a British film, right? And I looked at the trailer of this one. This is gorgeously shot. Like I tell you right now, this hey there, George, man. Gorgeously shot stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, Matt, the Crestone vinyl record is gone. Oh, thank you, Matthew. I showed it to Matthew. Actually sent me a Vinegar Syndrome card there, and I want to thank you so much for that. Next up is here's one of the things that's going to intrigue people. Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. Now, one of the cool things that I like about this, well, the trailer was hilarious. That's one of the things I liked about this. But I'm old school. I'm 50 now. I'm half a century old. It probably shows I probably look older. It's okay. But it looks like one of those old VHS tapes that I'd had like around my house. Hey there, Luke. Or I'd just be like taping off stuff all the time, like taping off Much Music and taping off the soaps and stuff like that. I had like my sister had a bunch of Another World taped off, and Santa Barbara. That's a good thing that we have. That there's a lot of stuff here to go in blind on. I know there's a lot of people here that say, well, I want to watch this movie first. I want to go see it on YouTube or Tubi or whatnot or however they want to do it. And I'm the opposite of that. I feel that you don't really get a good grasp of a film if you watch it on a like I'm sure if you watch it on an actual stream service, I get it. Uh, but if you're watching it on somewhere where the quality is going to be iffy and there's going to be stops and starts within the film, you're going to see a bunch of commercials throughout it. You're not going to get to feel the film. I purchased pre-order too as well, man. The everything bundle you got, right? I find going in blind with this is best, and I'll tell you another reason why. These are all everything we're looking at right now, guys, is a boutique label release. They're all limited. Although I'm not a big proponent of this, it's not a bad thing to do. Is like you go on blind. If this film doesn't turn out to be your jam, if the special features don't win you over after watching the film, and you don't go back in and it's something that you really aren't going to watch again. Hey there, John. The At the end of the day, here's the thing: you can sell it. You're not going to lose money on a boutique release. Anything's got a limited edition slipcover on it, you're not going to lose your money. So there you go. But this looks like a fun title. It's humorous. It's definitely my style humor. I like that. I like a lot of character pieces, and the fact that they got an in character commentary track. Whoever Gary and Susie are, I'm going to guess Gary and Susie are these two right here. Then yeah, I'm all over that. Eventually. But guys, let me know which ones you think are great. And we got Prospect with Gunpowder and Sky. Here's a big release, guys. Here's a pricey release too. Hey there, Brian Goes Blue. I watched a video of yours recently, actually. I think was it you and your better half actually that I watched. If I got the right video, if I'm thinking the right one. So Prospect was a kind of a low rent science fiction film with highbrow actors in it, and including like this name that you might know by the name of Pedro Pascal. So got Sophie Thatcher in there as well. It's a really cool looking release. It's a science fiction film that is more old school in that it deals like science in a more of a character type of way, but in an exciting character type of way. So nothing I think that's going to like bore anybody. It's a 4K release. If you buy the edition now, if you buy it now, then you get like, and I know Mr. Twin did show this. I was so jealous. I love this cover, by the way. There's trading cards on the inside. I know that may not be a big thing for some people, but for me that grew up like trading cards being the very first thing that I collected right alongside comic books. I had like a ton of trading cards. I had a lot of hockey cards, man, a lot of Topps and NHL cards, and I got Ultra Flare, and I had like these superhero ones and Dallas, stuff like that. So this is actually really, really cool. There's just some great stuff in here. A wonderful release. This one is half off. Half off is gonna cost you around like $40, $42, I think, Canadian. So if the American is gonna be probably 30 something, which isn't too bad. Gotta keep the scared seal. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. I like your videos with your better half. They're really good, actually. It's like you got the flow. And I think you didn't have the flow before, but it's like you go through and you go through different stages and you find your niche, and like you got your niche, man. Like a lot of you guys don't realize I watch your videos, but I do. I watch a lot of your videos. I just don't comment all the time. Sometimes watching like live streams, and I just like sometimes I'll comment, other times I just sit back and I'll just let everybody else kind of do their thing. Have you ever flipped in the movies that I've purchased? No, actually. Not even ones that I've had doubles of. Would I? I'm getting to a point where I'm moving, so I'm going to streamline. Like I won't get rid of my boutique releases right then, but I will be streamlining things that I got doubles and triples of, and so that's going to be something that I'm not flipping so much as probably giving away to my family. I did collect wacky packages actually. I used to love those things. I collected those garbage pail kid things too, which was more my sister's years. Robert Forster and Walking the Edge. I'm a huge Robert Forster fan. Of course, Brett I grew up with as a kid. The awesomely sweaty Joe Spinella's in this one here. He's a fantastic actor, by the way. And it's just a cool release. We got like Nancy Kwan in here as well. Gotta be careful with Vinegar Syndrome. You never know when like boobs are gonna pop up. That is not the best picture. Walking the Edge should be a cool title, Matthew. I think you like it. but it's one that I'm I definitely recommend. Heavy Trip. This one looks cool. So I had no idea what I thought this was like this. I was going to be like a music video. I thought Music Box Selects. This was the first one that I'd seen by them. I saw like Heavy Trip shop. Oh, it's a heavy metal like concert video or something like that. And then I watched the trailer. Uh, and that. Hey there, Nate. Welcome, man. It's been a while. I was going to tag you too. I always forget. By the way, guys, if I forget to tag you on Twitter, I do tend to forget. So definitely like hit me up if you're getting missed, you know, and you're on my Twitter, message me. Leatherbuys looks really good. Mexican, I think it's supposed to make think Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's a comedy and it looks really funny. Like it looks really legit funny. Now we get into one that I don't know. This is one of the early ones. I wasn't big on this cover, but what it basically is, as you can see, it's a bunch of short films, music videos, that type of thing, with an LGBTQ plus and coming of age slant to them. So you got things like Our Time, Gabriel Lover, Doors Cut Down, the French one, I'm not gonna, the Vacant Continent, After School Knife Fight, Bunny, like just a bunch of cool stuff. I don't know this one well, so I could not tell you anything at all about this release. I just think it looks intriguing. I'm not big on the slip for this one. It's pretty standard. Almost look, I guess, and maybe it's meant to look like. I'm not sure if anybody's ever collected like music or maybe like for me it would have been punk, but like punk music, and you get like those where there'd be like a bunch of like different like punk artists on a on a tape, and it would be pretty like shabbily done. Like the artwork wouldn't be the greatest, but you get a bunch of like solid like punk songs on there. Yeah, sort of sampler, exactly. That's what I'm looking for, man. When I guess is what it is, really, so it makes sense. Love After Death plus the good, the bad, and the beautiful. What are we looking at here? Over 1,000. So this is one still good, still solid. An interdimensional portal exists between Herc Harvey's Carnival of Souls and Doris Wishman's Bad Girls Go to Hell. It's called Love After Death. So yeah, that sounds awesome, actually. Um, Herc Harvey combined with Doris Wishman. Who doesn't want that? I'm I'm gonna guess Master Chaos. Jose got this one because if he doesn't, he's a huge Doris Wishman fan, so he worked on one of her films. I did see Decline of Western Civilization. Great one, actually. Only 400 left to smile, guys. This is a really gorgeous looking slip. Actually, it's a really cool film. Have not seen this one in years, but I do know this film. Had a great cast. Satirical film. Put it by Fun City Editions. Honestly, I feel like Fun City Editions is a company that you can easily go into. I neuroleptic, go into blind and not feel bad about it at all. Like feel like okay, I feel solid going into Fun City Editions blind because I've only got a couple of the releases, but each one has been fantastic. And the ones that I know, like Jeremy, I like Jeremy. Smile. That's one I really enjoy. Crestone. What is this? I don't remember this one, guys. In a world that undulates between the digital and physical, a group of SoundCloud rappers lives a solitary post-societal existence in the desert town of Crestone, California. Once a religious and spiritual mecca for many, Crestone endless sand dunes and waterfalls and dark caves act as a backdrop for images of tattooed bodies. Okay. SoundCloud rappers. Maybe it's good. Not my first go-to. Maybe you guys can tell me. Oh, there's some different stuff here, Nate, man. Green Jelly Sucks Live. If you're a fan of the band, Green Jelly Sucks, then go for it. I gotta be honest, I don't know a lot about Green Jello. Of course, I played Maximum Carnage, even though that's one of the worst like crossover comic books of all time. Like the game's not too bad. Their Carnage Rules is the one that they did the song on that, so I kind of remember that. Not well though. The funniest Vinegar Syndrome release ever. Comedy releases. Good question, actually. Not the comedy ones, actually. Not the ones you would normally think. Not like some people say Wacko or Pandemonium, but I don't think so. There's some other releases that have comedic elements to them that I think can do comedy better. Saw them live, Dr. Mark. Wow. Three Little Pigs vid is a classic. I think I've seen that. How come I don't remember that? Jungle Trap is James Bryan. And if you got the Nightmare USA box movie, God, what is it? If you've got the Nightmare USA book, then you've read a lot of James Bryan. Praise. This has Jungle Trap and Run Coyote Run and Agfa and Bleeding Skulls collab, and you get 2 James Bryan films here. Get commentaries on Jungle Trap. And you get a 3rd surviving footage from James Bryan's unfinished horror movie, HorrorCon. So there you go. That's going to be kind of cool as well. Hey there, Dirk. Welcome, man. We got Dirk from VHUs podcast, which you all should be listening to, by the way, guys. Next, was this the first Utopia that they put out, or was there one before? Did Utopia put? Yeah, this might have been the first Utopia. No, Utopia to put out Empty Pockets, right? So minor premise. Again, don't know a lot about this one. Looks intriguing. The trailer looked great. 1,500 units for this one here. Still over 1,000, so still doing pretty good. Going slow for that one. So the Agfa horror trailer show. So if you like kind of like the cheesy horror trailer stuff, you're probably going to dig this type of stuff. 924 left in stock. I've heard some people rave about this one. It actually has 2 trailer tapes on it. There's like a standard edition kind of VHS stuff, like level trailer kind of mixtape on here as well. So that's kind of cool. I kind of dig that. Amazing, except the minor premise. It does remind me of the guy that played the Master recently in Doctor Who. It's not at all, but it just looks like him in that picture. So next up is the Curious Dr. Hump. I was iffy on this one. Some people love this one though. The Curious Dr. Hump. 950 of these are left, and okay. I don't know. Hey there, Rourke Waffles. Welcome, man. Makes you want to spend more money. That's what trailers do, man. Those trailers are good for that. A good trailer, anyway. So, a bonus movie, La Vengeance, Senso del Sexo. It's the original cut of The Curious Dr. Hump and brain damage shorts and trailers from Dr. Hump's laboratory. So, we'll see. Picked up She-Mob and Dr. Hump during the sale. Hopefully, so soon you know how good they are. Now, Jeremy, the slip is gone, unfortunately. Gorgeous looking slip, by the way, for this one. But here is Jeremy. It's got Robbie Benson. I'm a big Robbie Benson fan. I grew up around the time when he was kind of like a bigger actor, like guys like Robbie Benson, Chris Makepeace. So if those names sound familiar to you, then, well, congratulations. You're probably from my era. When I move house, will it be cheaper for me to get movies, UK movies, than I'll be. Yes, actually, George, what I want to do is when I move, because the UK is going to be like 4 hours away. So I will be in a flight. So I'll have to save up and go. If once in a while, I'll be flying out to the UK. That's where I'm going to be buying most of my films at. I had planned, if we had moved this year, to do this Halloween was supposed to be Halloween in the UK, but unfortunately it did not happen. Okay, so La Femme Magique is the standard edition, which is down to $5.99. It's a French adult film with Marilyn Jess. I don't know, well, just not a lot of stories. It's a guy that makes like a, I guess, kind of makes like a sex doll, about a sex robot, I guess. She Mob and the Girl from Pussycat, something weird, down to 344. If you want the limited edition slipcover, you'll get this one fast and want this one. Um, Shot on the sweaty back roads of Dallas and Waco. She mobs an underground miracle that feels like an alt-earth faster pussycat kill as realized by a young John Waters. So there you go. A dreamy collaboration between feels like a dreamy collaboration between Jean-Luc Godard and Doris Wishman that never happened. Somebody here loves Doris Wishman. She's getting a name not here. What's movie buying like Morocco? Not big for me in Morocco because there's not a lot of physical media in Morocco right now. Not a lot of places to buy physical media. Cubic, they're gone more along the lines of the streaming and the digital type stuff. And much of the stuff that comes in from France. So basically, the stuff that does come in digital media, comes in physical media, tends to be French only. Yeah, that's why I gotta like streamline a little bit there, Mike. I start counting, which standard edition, but if you don't own it, it's still own this movie. If you buy the Funds edition, it's for 373 left. If you buy the UK edition, just own this movie. It's such a good movie. Cabrera's Walk Proud. Yeah, they do actually. Heading in for a drive. I wish I could do that right now. But I can't because I am home and I'm relaxed. Scary Tales. Again, like I say every time, most awkward prom photo ever. Opening the Pin Boutique. I'm going to be what I plan to do, aside from well, teaching a bit, is I plan to hopefully take this here to the next step, take the next step, and do podcasts, do this more of a more full time. You see, like more videos like coming out for me. I'll be doing more collabs and hopefully eventually working on some projects that I've had in my head for quite a long time that I want to do. The first Utopia release, the one that sold out really quickly, Bloody Nose, Empty Pockets, which everybody tells me is fantastic, and I didn't pick it up because I didn't like the title. That's the truth of the matter. Did it grab Scary Tales? Nice. Let me know, Matt, what you think if I start counting. It's a really good one. Let's hit on page number two. See, there you go. I'm learning French already. Do. All right. First up is Sometimes Aunt Martha Does Dreadful Things. I think this had a DVD release from Vinegar Syndrome, like for a while, like an older DVD release originally. This is the AGFA release. You can see it has the AGFA slip on it. And do we get 50%? No, we don't. No, we don't get 50% off. Why would they? It's only partner label month. They're only like showcasing the partner labels. Not like you want to like sell them or something like that. So sorry, a little sarcastic. There's some great movie theaters in Morocco, actually, especially in there's this really gigantic, gorgeous one in Casablanca. Yeah, this again like an interesting little, unique, odd little film. But I do not remember this one too well, actually. I'll be bluntly honest with you. If I don't remember something, I'm not going to pretend I did, actually. Only titles released during your sub get 50% off. Exactly. And that bothers me a bit. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually. You're going to hear me complain a bit tonight, too, as opposed to my normal, always like super cheery self. Because I have made it like a thing to be like completely positive and honest at the same time. So there we go. Hopefully you guys will like that. It is a great time to see people investing into into their channels. Like we were speaking with Mr. Tony the Dead yesterday, and he wondered like how to it's for those that do YouTube on a regular basis, and or if you got a channel and monetization is a horribly hard thing, and you're wondering like actually how to do it, because people don't realize like this is StreamYard. We pay for this. We pay for all the stuff that we do. Like nobody's out there sending us bunches of stuff. Well, most of us anyway. Uh, so it helps like if you can find something, whether you do Patreon or buy me coffee or something like that, something that promotes helping YouTubers like and content creators get stuff done, because it's important. Love to think that we're all like super millionaires that do this. Most of the people that do this here online were not. And thanks to a changing in the way the algorithm works, we no longer make very much money when it comes to this. And although it's not about money, sometimes that's what keeps your channel going. Because the behind the curtain, the truth of the matter is, it costs. All this stuff is not free to do. I haven't done the membership thing, Iceman. I'll tell you why I haven't done it. Because I wonder if it's going to confuse people. Like if I got Patreon, is that going to confuse people? Like the membership thing, like or yeah, if you pay all that money for subscriptions, all the releases should have discount coupon. You're right, they should actually, especially if you're losing the month. Of you lose the month of titles, and because there's a month has been said, okay, this not be, we're taking the spotlight off of us, we're doing on partner labels. Okay, but if you guys know anything about the membership stuff, you think it's a good thing to do, let me know. The one thing that I want to do with this channel, some people like it, some people don't like it, and is that I'm blunt. I'm outright. I'm honest. You guys know what's going on behind the scenes with my channel. I'm honest about that type of stuff. Because a lot of people have channels, and a lot of people watch this have their own channels too. So it's a way to talk about that stuff. Is that Helter Skelter? It isn't actually. Let me see what you're saying. Next to me. Oh no, actually, these are omnibuses. These are comic ones. So this is Morbius, The Living Vampire, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2. This is Stan Lee, John Romita era. Spider-Man, Ben Reilly Volume 2, Marvel Classic Comics, Green Lantern with Jeff Johns, Omnibus Volume 1, Murderous Passions, Jess Franco, Flowers of Perversion, Jess Franco, Nightmare Theater, and the Planetary Omnibus, and the Fright Fest Guide. So that's what's in the background. I do a few collabs with people. I used to do a few like when my channel started, but that was different. It was difficult. But the people that I do collaborations with now, I got to say, they're an amazing group of people, and I'm lucky to work with them. Somebody did mention Hong Kong Rescue, Mr. Tony. Alphabet City, great release, by the way. I like this one. Vincent Spano. It's got kind of a Michael Mann vibe to it. There's a Michael Mann aesthetic to this one. So yes, Drug Stories did so the original. So this is the Scare Films Archives. I recommend these. I want to see more Scare films come out. Got a John Romita Spidey tray for Christmas. Nice for your son. That's a cool dad thing to do. Happy birthday to your son, man. Give him a happy birthday to me. Happy belated birthday. McPherson tapes. This intrigues me a little bit. And before I go any further, because we're at McPherson tapes, let's momentarily shift to Cauldron. So for those that don't know, McPherson tapes are it's kind of one of those found footage style films. Some people love these, some people hate these, some people are iffy on these. Rec is probably my favorite in the found footage franchise, and I do like. I'm going to say it. Some people are going to hate this. I like a lot of the Paranormal Activity stuff. I do. There was a 2017 cut called UFO Abduction, which is supposed to be much better than the original cut, but I haven't seen the original cut, so I don't know. How does this bring up Cauldron? Well, it does actually. It really, really does. Because people were wondering what Cauldron were going to put out, what their next two releases were going to be, because they said it was going to be like 1990s, 2000s releases, and people were like a little bit nervous about that. So here we go. There we have La Possession de Altair, 1974, I guess, and the Collingswood story, which automatically makes me think of like Dark Shadows. But these are two found footage films. The original, is it really then? Is that a joke, or is that really what it's like? So let's go over to Cauldron Films and let's look at the bundle. It comes with a limited edition holographic sticker. You can buy it now for $49.99 American. Bundle includes La Possession de Altair limited edition Blu-ray, CD with slipcase, the Collingswood Story limited edition Blu-ray with slipcase. And now for the, I guess, the other stuff. Due to contractual obligations, we can only ship this bundle to the US and Canada. All items ordered together will be charged at the time of the order and shipped together when everything is in stock. Please place multiple orders if you wish to have items shipped as they arrive. All details, including a release date, are subject to change. Limit one bundle per customer. And of course, there's the other early releases like American Rickshaw, which is supposed to be their best release, actually. And there's a Cauldron film. I would love to get a Cauldron film shirt down the road. I love their logo, actually. I really like their logo. Matthias Frisk did the illustration, did a great job. I have none of the Cauldron Films releases. I wish I did have them, actually. Sticker's nice and stick was in the last bundle. Nice. But I'm actually interested in these. Like Mr. Tony, I am a bigger fan now than I used to be when I was younger of the found footage films. The one I like least, people are going to hate me for this, I hate Blair Witch. That was my least favorite release when it came to like the found footage stuff. Because maybe if I rewatch it now, I'd like it a bit more. So since I know nothing about these, let's read the description. If it bothers you that I read the descriptions, let me know. But it's a newer company, George. Basically, Diabolic DVD guys started their own label, and this is their third round, I think, of titles that have come out. I don't have any. There's usually 2 titles at a time. I don't have any of them yet myself. I hear there's some great stuff about them. Some releases are better than others, but they do put the work and the time into it, and it's just a small company of guys. When Rebecca went away to college, her boyfriend John thought video chatting would help them and stay in touch. But auto curiosity leads to a dark secret. When Rebecca and John video chat with Vera Madeline, an online psychic, you weren't kidding about being like him, friend, who initiates a deadly reign of terror over their lives. The Collingswood Story is an innovative and acclaimed micro-budget horror film by writer-director Mike Costanza. It's the first found footage film to be viewed through webcams, which helped pave the way for future hits such as Host, Paranormal Activity, and Unfriended. Yeah, sounds really good, actually. Got a lot of love on Wreck there, some on Willow Creek as well. So let's go back there and let's read La Possession de Altair. When newlywed Altair comes to have found a way of communicating with God, she builds a black brick door in her bedroom. With increasingly erratic behavior, points to something more sinister. Her spiral is documented on the 8mm film shot by her husband and later found after their disappearance. I'm iffy on that only due to the fact that in the case of this one, for instance, these tapes are found after their disappearance. So it's going to be interesting to find out, how the disappearance happens, but we kind of know they're disappearing. So that does tend to take it away from me sometimes. The motion sickness. Yes, I did get motion sick during the first Blair Witch. Maybe that's one of the reasons I didn't like it. So there you go. That's the older releases that they put out, George, by the way, and all those that don't know, they put out Beyond Terror. Because they did mostly like early 80s, like 70s type of stuff. So these two new releases were a big like shift for them. Crimes of the Black Cat, Sergio Pastero's 1982 Giallo film, Abracadabra. This is probably the least like the one people talk about least, and I haven't seen it, so I can't say how good or bad it is. But this is a newer film, right? Like this is their own other newer film. Yeah, 2018. So iffy on that one. And last but not least, of course, is the one that they've been most acclaimed. Tony, I was going to ask you the same thing, man. I told you, Tony, I was going to do like a video in hopes that and hopefully get like some donations and work through this stuff. So, but we'll see. American Rickshaw looks really good. Mitch Gaylord's in this. Okay. For those who don't know, I did journalism. We know I did journalism. I was in gymnastics when I was younger, and Mitch Gaylord was kind of an idol of mine, actually. Great gymnast. Crimes of Black Cat's really good. Is it region locked? That is a good question, actually. Let's see if they say. They do not say, actually. Though, due to the fact that they say that contractual obligations, we can only ship titles to the U.S. and Canada, I would assume that they are either region locked or they can't ship them to the U.K. because they're not region locked. So, but if anybody has them and knows the answer to that question, you can let George know. I do not know, actually. With that being said, is there a release that I don't know? See, Dirk, the one place I can't tell you about is Cauldron because I don't really know. I know people talk about American Rickshaw, and I'm a big Mitch Gaylord fan. I watched a lot of gymnastics when I was a kid. I did gymnastics. I was in parkour, in parkour before it's called parkour. But since I don't own any of them, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I would say American Rickshaw. Crimes of Black Cat gets a lot of stuff too. Region free player is definitely a must. In this day and age, like it definitely is. You're just going to find your world open up. It's a whole new world. All right. So after McPherson tapes, there is Knife Plus Heart by Altered Innocence. Look, this one. There was a lot of hype towards this one coming over. Vanessa Paradis is here. Well, not here. She's not in my room or anything like that, but she's in the film. There's a lot of Vinegar Syndrome. I think people weren't going on. Finally, the collar, I think, is getting the love that it deserves. There's a guy on Facebook. He just really didn't like the collar. He didn't like Mark Modell's acting out of it, which was heresy to me. But the collar's one. Incubus. If you mixed out an Incubus ever, there's a good one. A Woman's Torment too is a fantastic title that came out from from Vinegar Syndrome. Although I don't have it, I do remember liking the film. It's pretty depressing, called Buddies back in the day. A really good, really well made film, but not for everybody. The I'll say region for you. Thanks, Jason. Big Trouble. American Rickshaw made good as it wants to be. Big Trouble still is John Cooper, Carpenter directing, and Kurt Russell starring. So it's going to be Big Trouble. All right. This one has a cool. This is one I saw in Mr. Tony's video. Love the look. It was kind of a shiny. It seemed a bit busy, but I think it looks better. It's one of those that kind of looks better in person. So this is the Walled Boys, and it's out of stock. Well, I guess we're not talking more about Walled Boys, are we? Laws is out of stock, but there you go. A lot of these Altered Innocent things are going to stock really quickly. Love expressed by Altered Innocence. Maybe sound well. Okay, I understand though. Luckily, I've moved away from the editing portion of this. I used to do a lot of editing, not on these videos here, but I went to school for journalism, guys. So editing was something that was a huge part of my life. Whether it be like a television, like a television news show, or radio, or just a newspaper. I did a lot of editing back then. This cover, see, this is really intriguing to me. So here's one that intrigues me, guys. So Love expressed the disappearance of director's name that I can't pronounce, but that's okay. He did a bunch of films. I mean, like, if you like Arrow Video, he did a bunch of Arrow Video titles like The Beast, Immoral Tales, Goto. There's such cool titles that he put out. This is the documentary on this guy. So if you love those titles, you're gonna want to get this one here. And it's a documentary talking to people like Neil Jordan on here, Bertrand Bonello, Terry Gilliam. This guy influenced a lot of filmmakers, and much like a guy like Tino Brass, for instance, that were highly regarded, and eventually Bravacek. Thank you. Is his first name pronounced like as W or V? Because sometimes I know. Because when is it Wallerin or Valerin? Because sometimes I'm not sure. But yeah, so much like other directors of that ilk, he was the director that was really highly regarded, and as he went on, some people saw him in less light, which is a shame because he does some amazing stuff. And some directors get like pegged with their later stuff, so you don't really get to experience them as well. The Harvesters is another one by Altered Innocence. This is definitely a coming of age LGBTQ type of film. Looks beautifully shot as well. Done in South Africa, actually in free. It would have been Free State region actually. Interesting film. Obviously, I'll be moving to northern part of Africa, so very different in the way everything is done too. Next up is one that has one of the best covers I've ever seen on these. This is Starfish, and I love the cover of this one here. There's just something like evocatively, like kind of like teen coming of age to this here whole thing, and I kind of dig it. Must pronounce like V. See, that's what I thought. But the one that's like say V and then like it's a W and I sound like an ass. You know how many times I'm wrong with names. Oh, Jeremy, I want Jeremy. But Starfish, really, like if you like stuff like Jeremy stuff, this is different. I mean, did you guys read like the plot to this? When mysterious signal from an unknown dimension summons the end of days, it appears as if Aubrey is left on Earth, trapped in the apartment of her recently deceased best friend. The only clue she has is a single cassette left behind after her friend's death, labeled "This mixtape will save the world." Thrust into a mystery orchestrated by her friend and stricken with grief, Aubrey begins to piece the clues together, uncovering a series of tapes All pieces of the mysterious signal along the way, progress is impeded God, can I speak today? When monstrous creatures begin to overrun the world and close in on her, Abby is forced to fight off the encroaching creatures and move beyond her own crippling grief in order to find the remaining tapes and possibly save the world. 2 commentary tracks from the director and crew and a CD of Starfish's beautiful score is included on here. No humidity in Morocco. So basically, all the things I have to worry about with allergies, I don't have to worry about in Morocco. Here, I have like a lot of allergies, which is horrible, especially this time of year because it's hot, and even with taking allergy medication, I still have like effects of allergies. And this is not the time when you want to go out somewhere to a store and sneeze and cough a bit because people look at you weird. Equation to an unknown. Again, gorgeous looking one. I don't know anything about it. Zodiac Killer is out of stock, so there we go. Anything out of stock, I'm just not gonna stop on. Violent Years. I recommend this one. I'm guessing there's no 50% off now. Of course, there's not. Why would they? But it is a really cool title. Ed Wood with an actually cool little film on there as well. Huh. I don't deal much with UV anymore. They kind of got weird with their stuff. But 88 or Diabolique? I don't know, man. Either one is good. I mean, Diabolique is like, they're a fantastic company. Just check the shipping for both of them. That's the best thing to do. Nope, they're not, Mr. Tony. Unfortunately, these are considered older releases, so they're not. Latest Street Fighter Boy is a good one, guys. And if like, where's the one? I think I'm like joking. It's right here. Look, I actually own Lady Street Fighter. I bought this not on a sale. I bought this one actually full price. God Monster of Indian Flats, 33 left on this one here. Again, but so even though you're not getting 50% off these here, some of these here are discounted quite a bit. So you can't, like, I'm not going to be overly picky with something like that. Hey there, Ryan. Thank you, man. He is missed. He is missed like crazy. The only thing that's 50% off, Mr. Tony, are going to be the ones that actually have 50% off on there. Unless, of course, you're a year subscriber, then they give you the world. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. Okay, 40 of Blood Lake. I know. It's like Master Cast doesn't like this, but it's got a cool little like slasher giallo look to it. Right on the cover does, at least. You can Ninja Zombie. Oh, nice. See, DVD's okay with me, man. Base review. I love base video. Why in the blue hell would that come up in a Stipulated video? Anybody like Blood? Is anybody like Blood Lake? A 1987 slasher. False metal soundtrack. Hits to gratuitous scenes of people sleeping. Shot video. It's, I mean, on Blu-ray, no. Then you got to go to the thing. Will it be improved on 4K? Remaster. Some certain things, it depends on the elements that are there, man. Can only be remastered so much. There's a reason that shot and video releases are usually done on DVD, which is exactly the reason Blood Lake is only DVD, and the reason that that Ninja Zombie is only DVD, because that's pretty much they're as good as they're going to get. Although some companies will try and put like some of these on Blu-ray anyway, to varying results. A Soul Tangler, 35 of these. I don't know anything about this title. I'm not going to lie to you. It's an unseen 62-minute director's cut of the film. The Sword and the Claw. Only 14 left. God, I can't. For Crystal Lake. It's probably closer to part of Camp Blood, actually. Have you ever watched those series of films? Okay, Satanas, which I think is, out of stock, so don't worry about that one. Techno Trade's a decent one, too, actually. 45 of these left. You can see it's an older Ed Wood right here, but yep, that is Ed Wood. There's 2 films, Take That Trade and The Love Feast, and you see, like, Take That and Trade the outtakes. There are 70 freaking minutes of unseen footage scanned in 2K. Another really cool thing about these Ed Wood releases, by the way, that AGFA are putting out, is Frank Henenlotter, who is an amazing talker and a fantastic storyteller, does commentaries on these with Rudolph Gray, who's the official biographer of Ed Wood. And for this one here, I think Joseph Zimba on there as well for AGFA. So always like, these are places when you really want to watch the commentary stuff. I'll listen to commentaries. So there's Ninja Zombie, a Tony of the Dead pick. So there you go. And at 18 Canadian, probably around $15 American, you can't go wrong with that price, man. On the short film, it could have happened to anyone. Well, sort of. Dracula Sucks is on DVD on Vinegar Syndrome, but Mike, they put out a 5 films, 5 years, like limited edition set, and there's a Blu-ray of Dracula Sucks, and I own it. Next up is, my God, every time I like to lose like hearing one ear, Wicked World by the guy that made Things out of stock. Effects, actually a really good title. This one I need to pick up. Only 30 left on this one here. This is George Romero's Friends. Effects is mesmerizing DIY frightmare that no one talks about. It has Joe Pilato from like Dawn of the Dead on here. Day of the Dead, and we got John Harrison from Tales from the Dark Side, and of course Tom Savini. You might recognize that name from some certain things. And Scary Movie, which does stock. So there we go. We can get through that one pretty quickly. Macaulay Wood, Super Action Volume 1, out of stock. Damn it. This one I was actually looking at. The films of Sarah Jacobs. Only has 37 left. This one looks really good. I get a lot of people talking about this one. All right, welcome, Skywalker. I'm glad that you're doing your channel. Hopefully you guys have fun with it, because they're fun to do. Rare shorts and music videos by Sarah Jacobson. Interesting one there. And the Bat film as well. So we won't go to that. Your order of Samara, Walking the Edge, Get Low. Be interesting to see how that goes. We're going to keep an eye on both those. Something I'm excited about. I'm not sure if anybody else can be excited, but hopefully you are. This is coming from Mill Creek. So Gridman, the Hyper Agent, is a Subaraya release, much like Ultraman is. Now, what to know about this? Does anybody here look at this and say, thank you, Ultraman, and get kind of like, I think I know that character. If you're a 90s kid, if you're a teen in the 90s or a young person in the 90s, you probably saw the show that actually the North American series only lasted a season, but it was called, it had Matt Lawrence, Joey Lawrence's like a younger brother. And it was called Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. It was a tokusatsu that ran on Fox for one season. It was probably best known for having Tim Curry as the bad guy in the cast. The Gridman anime came later, but this is the actual original Gridman Takatsu. This only lasted like one season, but a season for this is a much longer season than a season for Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. I think it's like 30 something episodes here at least. But yeah, there would be later Gridman anime to come out like afterwards, which hopefully that Mill Creek has a race to the anime as well, because I'm hoping that Ultraman 80 will come out, and that we'll get the Gridman animes eventually as well. Well, it's Super Raya, so like you may think it looks small budget, but it's not small budget when it comes to the releases. It's like they spent a lot of time on the like look at the suit. They actually spent a lot of time working on that suit and the monster suits as well. Plan to pay for. See, we don't have that here. I'm kind of glad we don't. I'm worried it would like be. Hey, there's Josephine. Welcome, man. Ultraman Leanne is the last. Leo was the last release on the picture for the picture on the side. Well, I got it right here. Since I've got the Steelbook version open, I don't have the other one opened up. But from looking at the box, it looks like the hand right there is continued. As you can see, the arm looks to be continued onto another picture. So I think the confusion with this is that this is the last of the classic era, the golden era of Ultraman. From here, it goes to an anime and eventually will become a live action series again. But there's a few years in between. And obviously, the newer series didn't have legacy editions. Instead, they had something along the lines of this, which I think are gorgeous, by the way. The last of the show era, I guess you can put it like that. I don't know if you consider it the show era Ultraman, but yeah. I watch these a lot, so I keep them like close by. I've been looking at your June exploitation stuff, man. Like checking to see what you're doing every day, what you're watching. It's a hard one to get. I mean, like luckily, as I said, I get to work with Mill Creek so far, and they've been great to me when it comes to that stuff. I'm hoping that Gridman is soon going to be on. Like, I'm going to definitely request this. So I had a neat idea, and I might go into Severin next, or I might do this. But I thought it would be kind of cool. Because thanks to the wonderfulness of Reddit, to look at as someone that has that is now a subscriber, halfway subscriber. I'm a subscriber. I'm totally stoked with that. To look at what was initially coming from in the year of 2021 from Vinegar Syndrome, as was announced during the Black Friday sale, and what actually is coming in 2021, last half of the year. And with that, also saying if we are getting what would have been the June titles all coming out throughout the rest of the year. I heard the Ultraman comics, Iceman, are really cool. Like my kids are bigger comic, like especially my oldest. Like she's a huge comic fan. Like if anybody has read this stuff, she would have read it, and she said some great stuff about it actually. So does anybody think that's an interesting idea? Anybody want to do that? Do you want to see what was coming as opposed to what is coming? Because the idea here, for me, is to always switch it up and innovate a little bit to give you guys something to talk about. And here we go. Good to compare the lists to see exactly, and not in a bad way, but to be honest. So Reddit is the thing. We all know that. And luckily, people with Reddit do tend to keep their stuff up. So right here, we'll look at what was initially supposed to come in June before the partner label releases happened. So there were 3 releases coming in June. Vinegar Syndrome releases, nothing on them, just there were 3 releases. There were 3 releases coming in July, plus the Peakorama. Now that we were broken down, there's going to be a 3-film box set and 2 other Vinegar Syndrome releases and 1 Peakorama. Why is this important? We'll get to that. There were 3 Vinegar Syndrome releases coming in the month of August, including Devil's Story and 2 others. In September, we would have gotten 3 Vinegar Syndrome releases. One of them is Shallow Grave. One is a 3-film Euro Horror Giallo box set, and 1 other. October would give us 4 releases, including 1 4K UHD and 3 others. November would give us the big 5 releases, 2 4K UHDs, 3 other titles, including 2 Black Friday surprise titles, and December would give us 2 Peakoramas. So for those that are doing your math, that is 21 regular releases, and if I got it correct, 4 Peakoramas. No, 5. Let me see. Yeah, 4 Peakoramas, right? And 4 Peakoramas. Now things, now, as always, like this was done projected year in advance. Things change. There's no nefarious reasons or purposes behind any of this stuff. All right. So July, we start with 3 Vinegar Syndrome releases. So we get a 70s proto slasher, an 80s regional horror, and an 80s monster film. So there we go. In August, there are 4 Vinegar Syndrome releases plus 1 Peakorama, including Oh God, Oh Man, Tough Guys Don't Dance, Girl Screw Screamers, 1 box set, which is, according to what they said, more than likely going to be Cardona, and 1 UHD, plus the Peakorama. So there are 4 Vinegar Syndrome releases in September. Peakorama is the adult titles, yeah. That's the porn. A Never on Disc Slasher, Shallow Grave from 1987, a double feature Giallo, Nothing Underneath, or Too Beautiful to Die, plus Devil's Story and a Peakorama title. October gives us 4 Vinegar Syndrome releases, 2 box sets, one of which is probably going to be a Cardona horror-oriented set. And the better as hell be a Cardona horror set, even though there's not a lot of really good Cardona horror. I know Matthew likes Beaks, but aside from that, there's not a lot. But don't give us anything that's not horror on an October month. Never do that. Never on Blue Slasher, a crazy supernatural slasher, and 1 Peakorama. And the 5th month, the big one, we get, so the 5th month, November, we get 5 Vinegar Syndrome releases, 1 4K UHD horror, 1 3D Blu-ray 4K UHD horror, 3 other horror titles, including 2 Black Friday surprise titles. Deadly Sweet. I would like to see them, actually. I love Winter Heat, actually. That's Jamie Gillis, right? How is there? I mean, see, Matthew, you're going to have the school man Cardona. I don't know as much about him as you do. But when I looked up his IMDb page, I was not impressed. Like Cardona Senior, like I love some of that Night of the Bloody Eight, stuff like that. Cardona Senior titles, man, I was into a lot of that. But Cardona Junior, when you looked at stuff, there wasn't a lot of horror there. They had like Night of the Thousand Cats, and honestly, wasn't very nice with the cats, so I'm not really big on that. And there's Beaks, And I don't. I think I found anything else. Yeah, like his dad and his granddad were better, in my opinion. Uh, I get that. I mean, like he does have a decent style to some of the stuff he does. I guess it just doesn't hit with me and my style of stuff. But that's okay, right? Um, because there's 20 and so just to put it through, there's 20 titles here, and three Picaramas. Now that being said, things can change. We're missing out on a Picorama. Well, I'm not because I didn't get it. But if you got the completionist package, you're going to get one. I don't think you're going to get one less Picorama. I think more than likely, what's going to happen is they'll put a fourth one in there. Like I think you'll get your four Picoramas, and if not, they'll find another way to give you like a decent release. Yeah, I just want other Mexican films to represent. Ruben Glana Jr. I love that, man. That was my bag. But that was my bag. Like some people weren't big into that. So much untapped film history from South America. There's just so much cool stuff out there that should be that we should be being seen. And one thing I do love that Vinegar Syndrome is doing, and I may not love every release that's out there, and that's okay. I don't have to. Is that at the end of the day, uh, we're getting films from other countries that are getting like major stuff, and we're realizing how good the stuff that the other countries are going to have. And or see what the third VS, it's going to be for some people. No, not for me, because I don't mind six string samurai. Some people do, um, but some people are worried because we had Beastmaster, which was this like I guess everybody was pleased with Beastmaster. Everybody loved Beastmaster. There was no complaints that came to Beastmaster, um, which is fantastic. And I'm a Don Coscarelli like fanatic, so Beastmaster was definitely my bag. Then Six String Samurai came out, and there was a lot of pushback. Like I thought I hadn't seen it. Like to be bluntly honest, I asked you guys, some of you guys here, uh, like if I'd like about the film, and I looked up some stuff. You know what? I saw enough of it to say, I like what I see. But I don't have quite a grasp on what they're doing with this VSU line. I thought with the second title, I would have a grasp on what VSU is, what it's going to be. I have a grasp on aesthetically what it's going to be. I think, hey, welcome, Rejects Man. Because we've gotten two kind of like, I guess the best way to put them are fantasy oriented titles. I'm super looking forward to Six String Samurai actually. Um, and kind of like the second of post apocalyptic. The Beastmaster is not post apocalyptic though. Um, do I like Mayweather's fighting Logan Paul tonight? Floyd Money Mayweather's fighting Logan Paul. I used to I did a little bit of boxing when I was younger. Um, I used to box for keeping shape. Obviously, I don't do that now. Look at me. Uh, I hope Mayweather wins. Let's put it that way. I think they're just going for cinematic movies that are different than other films. Yeah, there's definitely because if you're going to do an UHD, ultra high def is what UHD means, guys. Then everybody knows that though. There's something non-horror or exploitation. I think because we're getting horror UHDs, but they're not in the VSU line. Would there ever be a horror VSU? I'm not quite sure. I think that a VSU title it's a premium title. It's a pricier title. They're picking titles that they assume that they think are going to have more of a mainstream appeal to them. So, if, for instance, they got a more mainstream horror appeal title, mainstream horror title that would appeal to more than just the hardcore Vinegar Syndrome audience, like with Rad or something like that. It's not a horror film, but just to give you an example of a type of film, UHD. Then maybe that could be something that could go in with the VSU. They're going to want something that's going to be visually stunning, something that's going to be going to do something different. Yeah, it would have to be. It had to be like a more known horror film. Like if all of a sudden like they got the rights to, and they won't, but the Phantasm, for instance, Phantasm is a more known horror film. I could see that. I would love to have a Phantasm VSU. I got a Phantasm box set. I'd still get a Phantasm VSU. But I think that they're going to stick more towards like a lot of the action stuff is selling right now. A lot of they're going to see how sci-fi goes, how fantasy goes. They're looking at that stuff. The truth of the matter, guys, if you're not a subscriber, then they're looking at what you buy because it matters what you pick up or when you pick up something every month because it's going to deal with like one thing, like Brad mentioned, like it's going to do with contracts, what is just available out there for them to get. And it's also going to deal with when they're looking for contracts and looking for movies and titles and stuff like that. It is going to matter what it is that you pick up. If, for instance, I've showed you the next few months, if Devil Story sells a ton of movies, it's a crazy film, ton of fun, then you're probably going to see more stuff like that. The Forgotten Jelly box that sold fairly well, although some people did wait till sales to try to get them. Which may have made them think, well, if they're not going to sell as well straight out of the gate, maybe we can go back on these. And we may have seen that because there is no Forgotten Jelly Volume 4 coming out as of 2021, as far as I know. There is a Jelly double feature coming out instead. So whether that has anything to do with that, it still comes to still something that we have to say. And they did Reject. They gained a ton of new people when Rat it was so different. Like I said I was a skateboarder. I wasn't a BMX person. I seen Rad because I was a big fan of Lori Loughlin when I was younger. But I was a skateboarder. I was a skateboarder. I listened to punk and new wave and like some pop music. I was an 80s kid, but I was more skateboarder than BMXer. So I would have been more excited like Gleam the Cube. But man, did Rad have an audience. And it brought in people to the point that people that didn't know what Vinegar Syndrome was thought that Vinegar Syndrome was this was because Rad one of those that have been like put on DVD and Blu-ray kind of like non-legitimately before, that people were kind of skeptical. We're like, is this really coming? Is Vinegar Syndrome a real company? Or are they just going to rip people off with Rad? The yellow boxes now, have they sold fast to Warlock when you really think about it, or have a lot of people bought like during the sale? No, I bought them when they came out, but I think they're great. I hope there's much more. BMX Bandits would be a great release. Umbrella Entertainment put that one out. I wish they would have got the. I'm still waiting for some Umbrella Entertainment like discs to come. That wasn't one of the options to get actually for review disc. I'm going to buy that one actually down the road because I would love to get a good BMX Bandits release. Your horror box set, is that still on the cards? I mean, is that coming? Is that the third box set coming this year? I know two of them are going to be Cardona, which is making me groan. But Matt, Mr. Wise is super happy about that. So there you go. I got like 15 horror titles coming. Can I really bitch about two Cardona sets? I don't think so. I don't think so. I can. It's not going to do any good. Not going to help anyone. But I love the fact it's a double feature, Jello double feature. And they said it's kind of I think it's thematically like they initially said it's kind of like a sequel. I don't think it actually is. Like they don't probably know better than me. I think it's thematically themed. The TV Terror box set, John. Mr. Tony showed it off on his channel. It looks good. It looks really freaking good. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, shipping from I expect that from Australia right now. Grind needs a Blu-ray. You're definitely right on that one. Oh no, they're not definitely not Warlock. They're gonna be higher sellers. Like I'm not gonna like they definitely sell it fairly fast. Next one might be my favorite. That's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of these films I haven't seen in a long time. Some of them I've never seen. Lots of movies I've never seen. I don't know what my next favorite film is going to be. And but one thing that I do know is that a lot of these. Am I going to get the Cauldron Blues? I can't afford them, Mr. Tony. I wish I could. I would 100% get those releases. I would probably get the kind of the cam one at least, um, because that one looks interesting. But I couldn't. I can't get the Cauldron releases. I wish I could. Just gotta take the gamble. We do. Well, I'm a subscriber now, so I'm taking the gamble for all you guys. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. See, I don't have Darkroom yet. See, Darkroom is one of those slasher films that kind of slipped me by, and I don't think I've seen it. You like the slimline releases for the Mike for the Forgotten Jelly? See, some people do. I like my box. I like my bigger box sets, right? Like I can do slimline with some stuff, um, but it's gotta be done right. Now, I'm not sure if Mr. Tony opened them up yet, but did you open up your Cardona box set, man? Because I'm wondering, like, they're not stacking those discs, right? They're like three discs in a kind of, I guess, a swinger type of case, as opposed to like with a hinge on it, rather than like than stacked. They better not have stacked those Cardona discs. I'm kind of wondering how the double feature, gel double feature, is going to be done. I'm hoping it's going to be done the way that the Scanners Cop release has been done, because that one is baller, man. That was awesome. Done plastic off yet. I was watching your video last night and I was like, is he going to open up is he going to open up the Cardona set? Like knowing you probably weren't, because you keep your stuff in package usually until you're watching. Beastmaster tray for 3 discs. That's what I'm expecting. I'm hoping this one. There's the thing, man. And I was not too far off from you, Mike. That like if you've been watching, I'm not sure if you look back at my channel, I apologize for the quality of the early videos. You'll notice that when I started this channel, like around 9, almost 10 years ago now, that I lived in a smaller apartment. So now let us know how it is. So basically, I was like doing what you'd call, which I'm sure you've probably done, Mike, which is like you fill out a row of films, and then you put the films that you're not going to watch as much there, like first, and then you like double the row up so that you can see, so that you're basically you can do both. Mr. Tony aims to please. He is really good with stuff like this. Yeah, the chip, the photo, the potato chip eating videos. Yeah, exactly. Many different many. Yeah, I actually trip rode at one point, and there was some like kind of coming out over the shelf. But yeah, I lived in a smaller apartment. The very first, for those that don't know, and most of you, why would you? Uh, this weekend was the anniversary of my restarting collecting of films. Then with the very first release that I bought 9 years ago, um, when I and restarting my collection was the Lone Ranger 75th anniversary set. Check my messenger. All right. Let's see. Okay, so perfect. So they are hinged. I don't like the. Oh, happy anniversary! Oh, thank. Oh, happy anniversary. I don't like the discs. I really don't. I mean, Treasure of the Amazon. It's got the Tony, is it okay if I show the picture of the disc? I would love to collaborate more with my kids, but they're really busy Warlock, unfortunately. Like they both work, and my youngest, not young, but my youngest is going back to school this year, actually. So okay, so let me do this right. So I'm going to bring up my Facebook first. So what we're going to do is you're going to see me and all my glory for a second, and my messy hair. I just got out of the shower actually for this video. So let me bring up my Facebook, and I'll tell you guys what I don't like. I feel like they chinsed out. What do you think? I feel like they chinsed out. So just do this really quickly because I don't want to stay on my Facebook obviously very long. So there is the first disc. All right, so that's fantastic, right? We only saw me there for a second. Now you see the now you see the disc. That was on purpose, so I get my Facebook up. So there you got. This is the first disc, right? And there's disc 2 and 3. And this is what bothers me, right here. I know it's not the same. The pictures, they're too similar. They're not the same, but they're too similar. I'm nitpicking. I think I'm nitpicking. That's cool, man. Like the pictures look almost too similar. And yeah, well, I'm honest with the fact that I'm nitpicky with certain things. It's expected with me, right? But that's the thing. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Tony, man. So I'm just hoping that like it's not just like put magnets that are going to snap cases together. I'm hoping there's something that a little bit more inventive than that when it comes to that. But we'll see. We'll see. See, I could get these. I could totally change my mind. It happens all the time. You guys have no idea how much I bitch about things like off camera. And my better half said, wait, just wait. You'll see. Most public case of that early on. Honestly, one of the most popular videos I ever made was called, some of you guys are going to know this because some of you guys found me through this. Shame on You, Scream Factory. And that was about the Nightbreed set and the cost of the Nightbreed set. And how I thought they were. If Indiana Jones movies were, no, they're definitely not Indiana Jones movies. They don't have an Indiana Jones character. Yeah, so, and I complained. So didn't I, Warlock? I know you saw it. Did I ever come? It's my classic, right? It's like I ranted about that Nightbreed set. And I said, I would never buy that set. What a horrible idea. Scream Factory. I can't believe you did that. It honestly, kind of a classic brand. The prices were too high. But you know what? I not only did I buy the film, but I bought my oldest the copy of the film for her birthday. It's one of her favorites right now. So yeah, and actually I got the actual limited edition box set and the standard edition classic as well, which is a shame. There's see there I could have probably sold Nightbreed, not the big set, but the regular, not like cut, because I bought it and I never really did. Well, maybe that's what you do down the road. Keep for trade bait or something like that. Be like Mr. Tiny the Dad. Yeah, Scream and Shout, they're different. I mean, they came in as kind of, I guess, like, big to like Scream and Shout. Like, to be honest with you, I probably would have collected a lot of stuff that I did if it wasn't for their company, because it was a Roger Corman collection that they were putting out at the time that kind of got me back into watching and to collecting a lot of films again that I wanted to have. I wanted to get UMS for the Deep. I wanted to get Piranha. I wanted to get like Lady in Red. I wanted to get Big Bad Mama films, stuff like that. The Barker collection, Hellraiser. Candy, yeah, Candy's a much different film. There, I got Candy. I got Candyman too, but I got Candy. I would like to see another. Is there a really good Hellraiser edition out there? No, I mean, like, there's the things that have been put out, like, but is there like a definitive Hellraiser edition out there yet? Lord of Illusion. I like Lord of Illusions. Like, that's one I did buy actually right away when it came out. It's a different one, and I wish they would have done more, like followed into like the Harry Dale Moore universe. The neat thing about Clive Barker and his universe is, um, it can be really good, fantastic, and then there's the Scarlet Gospels. Just gonna put it out there, as a guy that loves Clive Barker and loves his stuff, the Scarlet Gospels. When I finally got to read that, yeah, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing he wrote. I was disappointed. I was so disappointed with the Scarlet Gospels. I don't know how I feel about a Hellraiser TV series, to be totally honest with you. See, the only one I can't get into Warlock is Scarlet. I can't get into Scarlet Gospels. I've tried. I've tried. I really have. I read it a couple times to see if I missed something. And I was like, it felt like a bit much. Like, it was like Book of Blood, solid. Like, I actually like that. Yeah, I do think that needs a better edition as well. And who did? Remember a movie called Midnight Meat Train? With Vinnie Jones. I'm surprised that never got picked up and like got a really good edition of that one as well. I'm not quite sure if there's like a reasoning behind that, but I remember liking Midnight Meat Train when I saw it. I'm not sure if it was. I know it wasn't everybody's jam, but I actually really dug it. But I guess I should get back to the stuff, right? Our thing we got to really look at right now is probably Severin really quickly, because I got to go make lunch. But Severin's titles, I think, are going to be more post-apocalyptic focused this time around. Let's go to Twitter. Go to my Twitter machine. I love this. Is actually pretty cool. It's got a guy from Quantum Leap in it. I love the look of this Christopher Lee box set. It looks really cool. So let's dive down here. Let's like watching the fan footage film, guys. Right on, huh? So 2 releases. The second 2 releases they announced. So Lucio Fulci's Warriors of the Year 2072. Post-apocalyptic actioner. A lot of people excited about this one. It's got back there. Thank you, Warlock. And Guy Magar's Retribution. Yeah, from 1987, a possession-themed brain boiler. So interesting. But the first two releases announced were some cool Franco stuff. And those, come on. Here we go. We're getting close to it. Were the House of Lost Women, which is the one I'm excited about. I agree, Jason. For me, the Franco. See, yeah, and then they said Four Flies wasn't it, which I was really disappointed in, actually. And Black Boots Leather Whip. So there we go, the House of Lost Women. That would be massive, a complete box of Franco. So I want these two. I want House of Lost Women. See, I like Fulci. I love Fulci. But I love Fulci's like horror and giallo. And I do like the post-apocalyptic stuff. But it's not a day one buy the way a Franco is for me. Like House of Lost Women, that's the day one buy. That's what I'm looking at. If I got the money, they've got bones, I'll buy it. Black Boots and Leather Whip. Yeah, that interests me. Do I want the Fulci? Yeah. Would I wait for the Black Friday set? Probably. But I'm just, for those right here, it's like Curtis Passion, Flowers of Perversion, 2 tomes on Jess Franco by Stephen Thrower. I'm a huge Francophile. I'm planning on doing some like Franco videos on my Patreon, because for those asking me why, well, it's Franco. Where the hell else am I going to do that? I'm going to do them on a regular YouTube? No. All right, I'm going to say this now before I go and before I forget. 70 Franco films. Mike, I'm so jealous, man. Samuro films. Oh, wow, cool. So this week I will be doing, as usual, this Friday there will be the usual Patreon Crimson Call exclusive video. So everybody will get their links around halfway. Have a great evening there, Josephine. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll be getting their links for that. Also coming up very, very soon will be my first Cult of Jolly live video. As always, like, share, subscribe. There's been a donation-y thing going down all the way through here in hopes that somebody would spatter through couplers and give it a nation. What kind of accent is that? What a horrible accent that was. See, that's why I didn't get an acting. Horrible accents. If you want to, feel free. Much appreciated for a channel. I'm Aaron. You are the Call to Cinema. You guys are awesome. And for those that hit the like button, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. I truly 110% appreciate it. For those, no, but there's only 10 of you. I cannot believe that. Is this true? Did only 10 of you hit the like button out of 51 people that are watching this? Shame on you. Shame on you. I am Aaron. Hit that like button on your way out. It only takes a second. Have a great evening. I'll see you soon right here in the Call of Cinema.